Hey everybody, welcome to Chapter 3. This is the point where, like any good romance movie, the affection that's been bubbling up between Ruth and Boaz will come to fruition. We'll have to see what happens. Will their romance be brought out into the daylight, or in this case, the twilight of the evening? Or is it really a love story? Let's find out what happens in Chapter 3. According to Dr. David Block's commentary on Chapter 3, he says that it appears that Naomi hoped that Boaz would act upon his affection for Ruth, that it was part of Naomi's plan that eventually Boaz would take a move on Ruth, but that hasn't happened yet. And so Dr. David says that Naomi took it into her own hands to act upon his inertia. And so at the beginning of this chapter, we see Naomi laying out a plan for how she's going to make this happen. Now, in verse 1, Naomi starts to lay out her plan to Ruth. She says that she needs to find protection for Ruth because up to this point, Ruth is still a foreigner in a foreign land. And so no one's there to take care of her. And so in verse 2, Naomi says that Boaz is our kinsman and he'll be winnowing tonight. And so Naomi's hinting at two things here, which we'll talk about. Now, Naomi specifically says that Boaz is their kinsman because Naomi is referencing Deuteronomy 25, in which the law says of the Torah that the brother of a husband who has passed away must marry his widow or he'll face public shaming. Now, wait a second. Naomi's husband's brother passed away. What's going on here? Now, that's exactly the point. Again, the book of Ruth is serving as an amendment to the laws of the Torah. So now the law of kinsman redemption doesn't only apply to the brother, but it applies to the closest kinsman. Now we see Naomi's plan unfold as she tells Ruth to go to the threshing floor and to meet Boaz there after he's gone to sleep. And so the threshing floor is a place in the field where it's been matted down by all the work that they've been doing, but it's surrounded by the tall crops. So even though it's open, it's still intimate. And Naomi instructs Ruth to lay down at Boaz's feet. Now I have to wonder, at a time where hygiene wasn't very good, why would Naomi instruct Ruth to lay down at Boaz's feet? Well, this may again be an allusion back to Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy 11:4, it says that everywhere your feet touches, that land shall be yours. And so in Hebrew custom, by touching a land with your sandals, that's how you had a claim to the land. And so when you passed a sandal, you passed the land title. So Ruth lays at Boaz's feet to show him that she wants him to claim the next of kin rights, that she wants him to take care of her and bring her into the people of God. And so all of this does happen. And Boaz sends her away with 6 scoops of grain, showing already that he'll take care of her. And Boaz promises to do so, to act as next of kin if the closest one won't claim her. Now, I know this story so far sounds very misogynistic, right? That a woman is lowering herself before a man. But the point here is that if Boaz represents God and Ruth represents foreigners, what this story is showing so far is that when we come to God, God will take care of us and include us. Now, this chapter emphasizes that family loyalty is more important than national loyalty. If we truly believe today that we are all children of God, then this loyalty to our global family must be of the greatest importance. It must overcome any national barriers. There cannot be a foreigner. There cannot be anyone who is excluded from equal opportunity and from protection and safety and love. If we are the people of God today, living like the book of Ruth, then we are to love our global family, our global neighbors. Robert Schuman, a man who was instrumental in creating the European Union, said that borders are the scars of history. And we see that throughout the book of Ruth, that borders don't define who Ruth is, that Ruth is accepted no matter who she is because she is valuable, because all people are valuable to God. And so Jesus says to us, knock and the doors shall be open, ask and you shall receive. The Psalms say that those who cry out to the Lord, God will help those who have no helper. And we are God's instruments on earth. It's up to us to be God's hands, feet, and voice to protect these people who have not been protected, who have been let down by us, the people of God. It's time that we heal these scars of our history and that we no longer fail to love.